We got the band back together. So we got the band back together. Got Lisa on the shovel. We got Josiah over there on the crowbar. We got me, and I don't know, I guess electrical. So I've been trying to get all my electrical in. So we have some lights today. Got my wire coming through there, the light switch there. I got a switch and a light right there. I'll wire this up. This other room is going to be a bathroom, so we're not going to run any wire today. This one is going to be a three-way. I'll probably have a switch here and one down at the bottom, so I can get that later too. I got some 14 3-wire. So, anyhow, I've been having some fun up in the attic. I got wires everywhere. I'm just so excited to get down out of the attic for a few minutes. I still got to run all my smoke detectors up there because I'll have to have like one here, one at the top of the steps, one in the bedroom, that bedroom. So about 4 smokes up here. And I think after that I'll finally get out of the attic. Well, no, because then there'll be venting, and then there'll be the bathroom wiring, and venting is in the vent for the vent fan for the shower and that. At any rate, fun. Okay, so we're just doing this temporarily with this light. This is just an old LED light I had extra. And so for now, they're the easiest thing to hang and just have some temporary lighting for me anyway. But anyhow, I got my wires coming in and the ones going to the switch. So I marked them. You can see S and P, power and switch. So anyway, up in the attic, I have power coming into the box with one wire. The other wire only runs down over to that switch. And that's it. If you notice, I got a Sharpie mark on that one. That's the hot. So basically, the hot's coming out from this power side. I got the 2 black wires hooked together. So that sends the hot out to the light switch. Then when you turn it on, it's going to come back this white one that I have marked with Sharpie. So that'll be the hot to light it up. And that's just the neutral. That's it. The neutral comes from the one that's powered. Hope that makes sense. That makes it easy down here because all I got to do is just hook the light switch black on one screw and white on the other. But there's 2 ways of doing it. I mean, a lot of times I like running my powers to my switches, but up in this case, all our powers are up there in the attic, so it's just a lot easier, less wire to run everything. I basically ran 1 junction box in the attic, power feeds it, and then it splinters off to my lights. And that's about it. So one of the biggest things is planning with electrical. Planning it all out so that you know how, like I was saying earlier, how you want to run it. So you don't waste a lot of wire, and also a lot of time and effort running back and forth, you know, stapling wires in and laying everything out. But the other thing besides planning all of your wiring out is that, I don't get it. There's so much to think about, you know, when you're planning, is how many outlets you're allowed to put on either a 15 amp circuit or a 20 amp circuit. So how are you going to run your outlets and run them around the room? They need to have at least linear 12 feet apart. So in our case, we're going to be doing some demos. So what do? How are we going to run some outlets here? So our plans, and this room is dark, I know right now, but we're actually going to open some of this wall up. So I can't put any outlets in there. So we were able to open that up because fortunately they have insulation above that. They blew it in, but then there was a beam across right there. And so there was no insulation below it. So anyhow, I'll be able to run outlets. So we're just kind of figure out where the bed's going to be so we can have an outlet like on either side and make sure that we're all up to code. And so like right here, like for this light switch, this trim is real wide. It's going to go clear out to here. So when you run it, you got to space this out so that you can get your box in there and not interfere with the trim. But with plaster and lathe, it's a really big problem because everything is weird. So like you see, I put these blocks in. I was fortunate I can make this work real easy. Put a block and space it out the thickness of the lathe, because what we're going to do is we're going to leave most of this lathe. That's the other thing to decide. Leave lathe, take plaster off, go over top of drywall. There's so many things to consider. How do you want to do it? Well, in our case, we're going to actually leave the lathe as much as possible. Anywhere it's missing here, we'll just nail on a strip of lathe, and that'll even everything out. We'll be able to put our drywall right to it. So that's why I did this with the spacing this out. So by the time I put a piece of lathe in here, that should be flush. Put your drywall, and then the box is spaced out the 1/2 inch for the drywall, so it should line up perfect. Over here, they laid these studs flat on this wall. I don't like when they did that in these old houses, and they did it a lot, so I don't have a lot of room to work. I had an old work box, and they had it too high, so I cut this out and put the old work box in, and I got just enough room for my 1/2 inch drywall to go right up against it. So that just makes it, and keeps me up, you know, keeps me everything in a box. I mean, I'd have really got a really shallow box. I'm gonna have the same problem here because I got to run the 3-way for the hallway. So it's all planned. It's all figuring out what wall's gonna do what. That one right where Josiah's are, we're gonna move that. We're gonna move that doorway over. So I know I can't put any outlet there. Looks like they had ran outlets. I love this. Interesting. They just took a piece of lathe out and ran it right over top. You know, a little scary when you go to they put this panel board on, but they could have put a nail right in that. I mean, it's not in the stud, so obviously we're going to replace that. Doing it the right way. We got some lights. 1, 2, 3. And score, I found the attic access door up there. Underneath the insulation, tucked way over in that room there. Crazy. This is how little girls work. Oh. Right into the skid steer, made a little path there for the wheelbarrow. Last trip we had doing this, clearing out the drywall upstairs, we had cardboard down the steps, and we shoveled it down the steps. She had the cardboard flapped right into here, and she had a hoe. She was just dragging it with the hoe, but now she's got a different plan. Of course, there's not as much plaster to bring down, but well, still a lot. But so, got your elevator?
Excuse me. I have to go around.
Okay, well, room number 1 completely stripped. Nothing but lathe boards yet. Always done. This room's done. She's just finishing cleaning the floor up in here. That room needs to be done yet. I hate to because it looks the nicest. This one, completely done. Surprisingly, there's no flue up here or any hole for a fireplace or anything in that chimney. You'd have thought they would have had something up here. But anyhow, yeah, it's all stripped now to bare bones where we can work. Just cleaned up and that room stripped it. You're ready to rock and roll. Well, there's a good opportunity here to show you how we know how old certain things are. So if you remember this house upstairs, somewhere, oh yeah, I'm filthy, I know. Somewhere up there, they changed it, they raised it up, still in that same era of time frame. Now, this, hopefully you can see there is horsehair plaster. And you can see how thick it is, and there's a bunch of hairs in there. And this is what is done on the walls all the way up to where they changed it and added on up in the second floor. That is a lot thinner, as you can see, and it's more dense. It seems to still have some hair in it, but it seems different than that. So this is the newer stuff upstairs. This is later, so it was revamped somewhere. Again, I don't know. This was 1890 when it was brand new. This, when they revamped everything, I would have to guess was before 1920. But this was in the bathroom, and this drywall, it's actually drywall. They were 2x4 sheets. They used them in the 50s, 60s. Anyway, I'd venture to say that bathroom was put in the 50s, and that it wasn't there originally in that corner. And then you can see they have the drywall nailed up, and then they would put layers of plaster on and finish it. So it probably all blended in, left a period, but that definitely is newer. So there's some telltale signs to know ages of when something was done on your house. Got the ceiling all done upstairs, and actually the whole upstairs is done, completely gutted. But starting to strip this ceiling down. They had double furring strips. One's running this way, and then the ones running this way had all those stapled to ceiling tiles. But wondering why they did it both ways. If you look carefully, you can see what. See how far down those furring strips are? They kind of put 2x4s or something and scabbed them down. Remember, this house was sagged 3 inches, so they got it nailed flat to the ceiling over there. You look down over here to where the old plaster and lath was, it's dropped down about 3.5 inches or so. So, wow. So when they put the ceiling up in the 70s, I'm guessing, this house was already sagged out. She's so happy to have that old ceiling fan gone. Imagine, well, this one here isn't so, they didn't shim this one. But that dining room is so much lower, so I know they did something in here. I can't wait to tack that one and find out, because that ceiling's dropped down quite a lot from the factory. From factory. You like that one? How's that for somebody who used to work on cars? Look, he does wear his PPE.
What's that?
He does wear his PPE.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm working in a coal mine here. It's green. No surprise. Being at the wall was green. That's a shame. It looks real nice in there, and then you go, oh man, it's all coming down over there. There's a crack. Okay, maybe we could oh, nope. Can't drywall over it. We got a crack here, and it's coming down, so it almost go. But boy, they really dropped that down. So they had 2x4s and then ring strips. So that was quite a 4.5, 5-inch drop. So this room's almost done, which is great. You have to do ceiling in there. So this is drywall on that wall, and that's drywall on that ceiling, that's drywall on that ceiling. And I think after we take the furring strips down in that room, there'll be just a little bit of plaster left. We're getting there. Almost done with the plaster and the ceiling's anyway. Yay! Got back home and realized we didn't end up filming an outro. Oh, anyway, got it all demoed, very happy about it, ready to move on to the next project. We're going to be working on some doors, so we get to look forward to changing that back door, finally get rid of that red door, and get the pocket doors opened up. That way we can be able to start getting some inside work done. Still a little bit of decent weather left, so we probably will get some more outside work done as well. So we'll see what's next. See ya.